Triple H may have subtly confirmed IYO Sky's opponent at Evolution 2025 on WWE RAW. WWE is set to host the second edition of Evolution in less than 3 weeks, and IYO Sky has been wandering directionless. Despite being the Women's World Champion, the 35-year-old has not been part of any big feuds on Raw. However, Triple H may have subtly hinted about Sky's potential showdown at the historic event. Rhea Ripley could face the genius of the Sky for the Women's World Championship at Evolution next month. Triple H has already booked Mommy in a huge street fight against Raquel Rodriguez at Night of Champions. What raised eyebrows is that the game broke his own rule of the 5-match PLE format only to put the Eradicator on the card for the upcoming PLE. This indicates that WWE is considering Ripley for a big program in the coming weeks. Triple H is once again solidifying the Eradicator as the cornerstone of the Raw Women's division. Additionally, Liv Morgan was supposed to be a part of a major storyline heading into the Night of Champions and Evolution. Now that she has been injured, WWE needs a top face to fill in her position. Rhea Ripley is the name that appears to be under consideration as the central figure of the entire Evolution build. Triple H may want to fuel her momentum ahead of the all-women's PLE. As a result, he might have put her in a street fight against Rodriguez at Night of Champions. IYO Sky, who has been floating with no direction, also needs a credible opponent for Evolution. Considering her storied history with Ripley, she could be a legit opponent for her. Moreover, WWE has not started a proper build for Evolution's card even at this point. As a result, instead of booking a half-baked feud for the Women's World title in less than 3 weeks, WWE could be planning to play safe on the memorable history between Sky and Ripley. Hence, the fact that Rhea Ripley is currently being pushed into the spotlight may be a subtle hint that WWE is set to pit her against IYO Sky at Evolution. Triple H may have hinted at IYO Sky's SummerSlam match on Raw. WWE will host the biggest edition of SummerSlam this year in MetLife Stadium. The first ever 2-night edition of the show would feature some big matches. IYO Sky, being the Women's World Champion, is expected to be involved in one of the key storylines, and Triple H might have hinted about it this week on Raw. Last night, the 35-year-old met her friend Asuka backstage. The two stars talked about facing each other at the biggest party of the summer, where the genius of the Sky revealed it had been their shared dream since their days in Damage Control. However, the Empress of Tomorrow quickly disregarded IYO Sky's statement by saying that they were not in Damage Control anymore. WWE purposely teased tensions rising between Sky and Asuka on Raw. It could be a hint that, slowly and gradually, the creative team is building toward a full-blown feud between the two superstars down the line. IYO Sky has not defended her Women's World title since WrestleMania 41. Triple H seemingly intends to book her in a blockbuster feud on the road to SummerSlam. Hence, he could be planning to capitalize on the incredible history of Asuka and IYO Sky for a high-profile feud.